Good afternoon, guys. My name is Akshay, and I'm here with Kartik. And
Hey,
we're just embarking on our new journey to record a podcast talking about football, mostly
mm-hmm.
the Premier League. Both him and I, as you can see, are Arsenal fans, so we know a thing or two
AFC for
about
the win.
hardships, and we're here to basically um, kick off on our idea to review the season as it goes along, review primarily how Arsenal does, but also just look at the Premier League as a whole and pick up the ins and outs, the ups and downs, and the
And talk about the spicy topics as well
and
when
talk
we
about
get a
spicy
chance.
topics as well. Absolutely. So a little bit about us. We are both from the East Coast, from the United States, both Arsenal supporters, and basically we are both rank amateurs when it comes to this. So
Right.
if we do make mistakes, please forgive us, and please do also help correct us down in the comments.
Any
Try to
feedback,
be
suggestions, criticism, whatever you think can help, not help, just let it out. Don't keep it bottled in. I mean, as Arsenal fans, we know how emotions are. So just let it out and we'll talk it out.
yes.
You and I, we are friends, we'll talk it out.
Yes. And just one disclaimer, all the opinions we share are our own opinions, and we are not affiliated with anyone. We are not sponsored by anyone. We're just
Yeah.
two guys who love the Premier League and are trying to put our voice out there. So without much more time wasting, let's kick off first off with the Arsenal Brentford result. That was 2-0 to Brentford. Very, very horrible start for the season as an Arsenal fan. And I mean, going into the season, just looking at the first fixture, I was like, okay, at least that's a win before heading into a couple of more difficult fixtures.
Right.
Clearly overestimating how good Arsenal can
Correct.
perform. But yeah, what was your thought going into the match first off, and then while you were watching the match?
I mean, from last season, I've had some vibes that I don't want to pass on to, but we had this record where we've always had a very, very good away start. We've probably not lost an opening day away fixture for the last 20 odd years. I mean, this is off
20.
of Twitter, but yeah, we broke that record. So, in a positive, yes, we did break a record. In a negative, we didn't have to break that record. So, I mean, that's just what I feel right now. I mean, if feeling meh was conveyed on a sentence, that was it.
Well, let's discuss some of the. I guess let's discuss some of the bad first, and then we can try and end on some of the good that the match had.
Definitely.
For me, one of the most confusing things for me on the pitch was I did not see a game plan for Arsenal. I did not see what the attack was trying to do. I did not see what the player roles were supposed to be. Everybody was kind of everywhere. Emil Smith Rowe had an amazing game. Fabulous debut for Sambi Lokonga. And Ben White, I guess he had,
He'll grow into it.
yeah, I guess he had a decent game as a defender. Clearly, one of our two better defenders on the pitch today.
True.
But yeah, outside of that, what other positives did you think we had going in?
Positives, first and foremost, great debut for Albert Sambi Lokonga. I mean, the praise that he's got from everyone, from Victor Company to Thierry Henry to everyone from whoever is following Belgian football, I did not expect him to have such a good debut. And I mean, he surpassed all expectations and he looks like a player that will be pivotal to us in a role that we've had missing since Aaron Ramsey left. I mean,
yeah,
those are big shoes to fill and it's too early to speculate, but I think he could go in that mold. That was one big positive. The other positive I also noticed was Emil Smith Rowe just took it off and running just where he left off last season. Kieran Tierney the same. Bukayo Saka also the same. I mean, those are three players who like just came back into the game as if they never left. It was as if they did not have a season's break at all, or a winter break or a summer break at all. And maybe that's a real good positive.
1 second, please hold on.
No problem.
Rank amateur errors, but should get better as we keep going along. But no, I very much agree. Emil Smith Rowe looked at home. I mean, I'm not going to jinx anything, but he definitely wore the number 10 jersey like he should have. He should have had more of the ball than I think that he received, because his touches were good, his passes were good. Just not much movement around him. Passes
Right.
coming in from deep, but nobody in that middle third of the pitch are really trying to regulate flow. And because I saw a lot of people going towards one end, a lot of people going towards the other end, but there was nothing.
There was
in the
never
middle to
something in the
really-
middle.
Yep.
The
Uh,
other positive that may or may not be positive was, I mean, Adidas is on the money with kits, on the money with merchandise. I mean, look at that kit. That third kit gives you a great flashback. I mean, it does remind you of the good old days. I hope the team respects that and they play like the good old days.
I mean, but the first kid is kind of bad.
It's Ajax. It's Ajax. Let's be honest. It's
I'm not a
Ajax.
huge fan of that one.
Me
But
neither.
yeah, the kit is good. I'm definitely gonna try and get that third kit for myself and get Saka on there for me. Speaking of which, I mean, kudos to the Brentford fans for welcoming Saka the way they did when he got onto the pitch. That was just
That was
amazing.
really nice.
And that is how you should be treating a 19-year-old who went to the Euros and took responsibility for your country. And even if he didn't succeed, I mean, kudos to him. I mean, that it takes amazing courage. And then to see that even if he's on the opposition team, you respect what he does for the country and the club is just, it's amazing.
It's immense. It's
Yeah,
immense.
a big round of applause to the Brentford fans for that. That was just absolutely amazing. And overall, I mean, if Arsenal had the worst possible start to the season, Brentford possibly had the best start.
Best.
I mean, their priority is going to be getting to that 40-point mark, right? And what better way to get there by getting your first 3 points in the first game of the season?
And it's kind of a local rivalry too, right? Brentford is again like what 10 miles out from
Oh yeah,
the Emirates, so
I mean
it's
there are
not
like
even that
300
far off.
clubs
It's-
right
yeah.
in and around London.
So those are like brownie points for the locals too. That
Oh yeah.
hey, they have banter ready for Monday morning.
But no, I mean, where are you sitting at right now? I mean, again, you say it's too early to start, but it's kind of in building. Are you starting to pick up on the Arteta out parade, or not quite yet?
I want to say no, but my brain says be more logical and answer it in a logical way. My heart says no, yes, you should fully back Arteta for whatever he does, but when you look at it objectively, you don't see a cohesiveness. You don't see cohesiveness somewhere. I understand that we are also missing certain players that we are also trying to target, certain profiles we are trying to target, certain players that we don't want who are there currently in our squad as well to be shipped out or whatever that case is. But it should not always be about having the exact right players, because there are examples where teams have done better than you thought they would, just by changing their gameplay to suit the style of players that they have. And being a rigid system manager might not really be the way ahead for Mikel. That's what I feel, at least from what I've seen over the last one and a half seasons.
No, I completely agree. Especially when you're in the kind of situation where you are, like, a rigid system player is a luxury. You know, it's teams like managers like Klopp and Guardiola can pull that off because they have the resources. And unfortunately, as big of a club as Arsenal is, and they just don't have those resources anymore. So our managers need to make the choice to be more practical and work with the resources
Right.
that they have. And because there are so many players, I mean, the current team I don't feel is built necessarily for a possession-based system. It's meant for
True.
quick counters. It's meant to kind of run in deep. It's not meant to progress the ball slowly from deep.
It's
But
your
that's-
player profiles too, right? I mean, look at Aubameyang, look at Emil Smith-Rowe, look at Saka, look at Tierney, look at Martinelli. All of these are actual quick players. They can
Yeah.
transition very soon with rapid passing. The Arsenal way, wherein you pass, move, and convert. I think that was the system with Arsene Wenger. It was not counter-attacking per se, but it was fast transitions, movement high up the pitch,
Yep.
get the ball up quicker, make those cute passes, make those runs, do those 1-2s and tap the ball in.
Yep.
We don't see that,
Exactly.
which we should be seeing.
Yeah, and honestly, even under Emery, there were a few moments where we saw some of that play. Under Arteta, over the last season, I think he's completely wrung that sort of innate inbuilt mentality out. Unfortunately, I feel, and I don't know, because I by the end of game week 3, I see us being right at the bottom, considering that we have Chelsea and City to play.
That's being realistic, and that's right.
That, I mean, yeah. So I mean, if you're not thinking Arteta out right now, you probably shouldn't be in that same situation game week 3, because
Right.
there is no way you should be expecting any kind of a big result for the next couple of matches anyway. So I mean, right now I am still holding on to faith. There's also the transfer window that's still left. So we do have that. So hopefully we can bring another couple of good players in and try and rejig the squad a little bit and get some more points
Momentum,
on the board.
sure.
Starting game week 4, I'm just gonna assume that we're gonna sit at 0 for the next couple of game weeks. But yeah, speaking of City, who are going to be one of our next teams, that's a result that we should probably move on to the rest of the league. I mean, amazing result. We just saw it a few minutes ago. Spurs, no Harry Kane, not even on the bench, and they come out with a fabulous start of the season. I mean, I don't know. I did not expect this of Nuno, and I thought City to come out guns blazing and just kind of strut around, but no, Spurs really got the better of them.
You would have thought. I mean, after Pep going out and spending 100 million on Jack Grealish, you would think, oh, okay, he's going to put out a star-studded team that's going to like go all guns blazing on a Spurs team who's arguably without their best player on the pitch, and have a new manager and have one of the most difficult starts to a season. The first fixture against a star-studded Man City is not one where any manager would be expecting a point, let alone 3.
Yeah, and the
And
reigning
he's got 3
champions.
points. Nuno got 3 points. He played to his strengths. He's got Heung-min Song. He's got Steven Bergwijn. He's got Lucas Moura. All 3 fast runners playing direct attacking football and just not letting City play their game. And guess who won? Spurs.
Yeah, it pains me that Spurs are hitting the ground running with a manager who has basically just inherited a team that he really didn't pick or had much option in, but he's just played to the strength of those players and gotten a fabulous result. And I mean, all kudos to him. And I guess by the end of the transfer window, Daniel Levy will be super happy when he gets 200 mil for Harry Kane now, having just proven that Spurs can do it without him, and then pocketing all that money as well.
I think he's at an even better position now after this game, because he's actually showed it to Man City that, hey, I don't really need him, but I'll not sell it to you until you pay up. I mean, if that's not a statement of intent, I don't know what really is. Yes, today's game was a statement of intent from Daniel Levy and from Tottenham Hotspurs.
I know. I mean, and Heung-min Son, I mean, that guy, Harry Kane is the only reason why people don't talk about his talent as much. He is a fabulous talent. He has been, every time, he's that perfect sort of player where as long as you have somebody else who's taken the mantle, he'll play the role of the assister and the provider, and just he'll play alongside you. And the moment everything is on you, he'll like, yeah, sure, I'll take care of that, and just take it all on his own. I mean, that was just a fabulous performance. They just looked amazing on the counter. That was really good. Now, with the City loss, let's move on to their rivals, United, who made their own statement of intent. I mean, wow, arguably the most dominant result of this game week, I'd say.
Game week, true.
And won against a really good lead side.
And first of all, I know everyone's going to jump onto the Bruno Fernandes bandwagon, but save me from that. And I want to credit Paul Labille Pogba for turning up the way he did. That's 4 assists. And to think of it, he's the first ever United player to get 4 assists in a single game.
And he topped
And
his assist tally from last season in one
last
game.
season in one game in 70 odd minutes, not even 90, 70 odd minutes. I mean, if that's not respect in the name of Paul Pogba, then I don't know what is. I know United fans have had an on-off love affair with him being said to be lazy or said to be a fashion accessory or a luxury player. But with the right system and with the right players around him, you really can get the most out of Paul Pogba. And I think yesterday's game was clearly the way how you should utilize Pogba.
Yeah, I mean, he just give him the license to stay up and contribute to the attack, and he does it. I mean, you're talking about a World Cup winner, and even in the Euros, I mean, France went out sooner than anyone thought they would. But
Correct.
up until that point, Pogba was the best player for France. You know, Rafa Varane had his moments, and look at that. Now, Rafa Varane is at United as well. So possibly two of France's best players in the tournament are now at United. Let's see if they actually manage to extend Pogba, but at this point, I think he's just auditioning for PSG or Real Madrid come January.
And they've done smart signings. I think the two signings they've made, Jadon Sancho and Rafael Varane, can significantly contribute to what United were lacking. And at least from game week 1, it seems, yes, they have put out a strong statement of intent, and for definite title contenders Man City, this is a bigger shock than the Tottenham loss.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, this time United are really like going out there, and even the goal that they did concede was, I mean, you don't really expect the goalkeeper to get to those kind of shots. It's not necessarily a defensive breakdown or something. It's an amazing goal. And when you concede a goal like that, you just accept it. So it's not like the defense fell apart or anything of the sort. So it was actually a pretty solid defensive performance as well by United, even though Leeds had some good moments. But I mean, fabulous result for them. We just want to talk about one more result, and I'm still kind of caught between which ones to pick, but you can help me decide. I mean, I thought the Aston Villa Watford result was really good. Not to mention Everton with Rafa Benitez and the Everton fans. I mean, all due respect to Everton fans, and I get the club loyalty about it, but how do you say no to Rafa? I mean, this guy's an amazing manager.
He's a good manager. He is definitely a good manager, and for the situation Everton are in, I'm sure he can pull them out of their rut. They've had good signings. They've had signings that you would think bigger clubs will make. But last season they didn't turn out those results. So I think Rafa can get those results out of a team, because he's done it at Liverpool with similar kind of squads.
Yeah.
You would expect something better from this season.
Yeah. Do you think they're going to make a run for the Europa League?
Could probably do it. I mean, with the squad they have, they could definitely do it. I know Leicester, Leeds, there are many clubs that are there, even West Ham for that matter.
Well, that was another amazing result from today.
I think the Watford Aston Villa result is something that needs to be talked about, because it's a shock result. It is a shock result.
That's a match that I didn't watch because it was one of those results that I thought was kind of
fairly obvious.
Yeah, it seemed fairly obvious on the face of it. I picked Martinez and Danny Ings in my FPL team as well, because I figured that could not possibly go wrong.
Correct.
And again, another thing, Xisco, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, Watford's manager, is apparently the favorite to go on the chopping block by the bookies' odds. So they expect him to be axed first, and he comes out first day of the season with an amazing result against a very promising Villa side.
I think Aston Villa did look deflated without Jack Grealish. Yes, it is expected when you don't have your talisman. But I really liked the statement from their CEO where like a week ago, after they finalized Jack's move to Man City, he came out and said that we did actually take consideration of this possibility that Jack would leave, and they would invest the funds in certain ways so that they don't have one player replacing Jack, but multiple players. And I think it will take time for that change to like work within the team. And maybe this result is a one-off for them, wherein they get a reality check saying, okay, this is not what you thought you would start off with, but now you know, now lessons learned. Dean Smith has his hands full with what he's got to do. He's a smart manager. We saw that last season. He got results from games which you never expected him to. So I think Aston Villa can turn it around. It's just a matter of how they do it and when do they start doing it.
Definitely. I mean, I think they've done fabulous business to replace Grealish. I mean, Buendia is an amazing signing. Danny Ings, he's been wanting out of Southampton for God knows how long, and I think he may not be, top tier level striker, but he's definitely competing for that spot. He's maybe right below that tier, just maybe a couple of notches below someone who can really play in the top four.
Right.
So that's an amazing signing as well. And not to mention, they got, oh boy, I'm forgetting, Leon Bailey. Yes, they got Leon Bailey in, which is again, I mean, it's sort of a gamble, I think, but again, kid with lots of promise, and he's been pulling stumps out in the Bundesliga. So I'm expecting him to really do well for Villa as well.
Correct. I wanted to like put in a bit more on Danny Ings. I thought maybe that's not a signing that you would want to make for the age profile, or at least as a striker who's in the later half of his career.
Yeah, I think he's 29 at this point.
29, 30, I guess. And even I'm not sure. So for a striker, that's when you're like waning off your speed. You've hit your maximum speed. You're not going to cross that speed as well. So it's the smartness that should come in. And maybe he's there to like groom younger Aston Villa forwards. Maybe Ollie Watkins could do a great job with him.
I think you hit the nail right there, where I think he's just there as like a placeholder for when Watkins eventually becomes like a proper number 9. Right now, I think Watkins still has a lot of pace, so he can still come off the wings and contribute to the game in other ways. So I think it's a smart move to get someone in who can probably stay with the club for a couple of years. And he's still a very good striker. I mean, he got his goal, even though it was a penalty, but he still got his goal. Opened his account for the season. So he's still clearly a good striker. But again, he doesn't suffocate the growth of Ollie Watkins as a striker as well. So I think, that's absolutely right. Where he can probably just be like that temporary gap where Watkins eventually comes back into the center.
Sure. Do we also do a shout out to Jamie Vardy? I think we should.
Oh yeah. All fairness. Goal number 119. This guy just does not know how to stop.
And he's there. He's Leicester. Leicester is Jamie Vardy. You could like call out, give me 100 different names, but if you recall Leicester, you will definitely have Jamie Vardy as the first name on the team sheet, and he's proving it right all day long. He's proving his haters wrong all day long.
I mean, absolutely. If ever there is a club legend really worth his name and salt, it's definitely Vardy's very much amongst them. Not to mention his loyalty, because I'm pretty sure he had a few offers to pull him away from Leicester, which he said no to, and then he stuck around, and he just keeps defying his age every season. And I've heard lots of pundits, lots of channels that I follow as well, and amazing channels, not to pull them down in any way, shape or form, but every season you have someone saying, well, he's getting old now, they need to find a replacement for him, and every season he just comes out guns blazing, proving everyone wrong.
And that's like, you want to watch those success stories, right? As someone following a sport with a passion, you really want to see those success stories, because otherwise it's just monotonous, or it's just mathematical calculations, analytics, and everything else that's ruling the roost of the current state of the game. But these are stories that you can't really put into algorithms. Your algorithm or analytics cannot predict this for sure. Coming from an engineering background, I can tell you that.
Actually, like, absolutely, that's the game of football, like finding players that you cannot put a price on. True. That's why you call it the beautiful game.
Point noted.
But yeah, I think that's it for us for today. And hope you guys liked it. And if you guys did, please leave us a like. Let us know how you like. Let us know what we can change, what you liked, what you didn't like. Please leave comments in with everything good and everything bad. Just try to be civil if you can. And you'll hear from us again next week when we review game week 2, and hopefully see Arsenal do maybe a little bit better. So here's us signing off. Take
Yep.
care.
Thank you so much for helping us out with this. And please follow us, like us, share, comment, subscribe. Give us your feedback. And please, 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 please help us improve on our mistakes. So first, let us know about our mistakes. 2, tell us ways how we could improve it. That's all we ask from you. This is 2 Arsenal fans signing off. Akshay and Kartik. Bye bye, cheers, and have a great weekend and a great rest of the week.